we're gonna be billionaires, and we're still gonna be like, oh my God, why did we get into this? Oh my God, Albert, you shouldn't have gotten this $65 million jet. A $30 million jet would have been sufficient, Albert. Why did you pay those extra $30 million? Albert, stop buying so many $80 million properties. We don't need another house in Hawaii. We don't need another house in Paris. Hey guys, welcome to Driven Couples, and we're back here. This is going to be probably the last episode we have. Well, it is going to be the last episode, I think. Before Cali is born. So Cali's going to be born in, is it Tuesday?
Hopefully.
In a couple hours.
February 14th, right? Or 12th? Is it the 14th?
14th.
So that's what, like 4 days, right?
That's my birthday.
It's Tuesday.
That's Tuesday?
Yes,
So that's Valentine's Day, next Tuesday. So, but we might have her before, huh? It seems like it.
Yeah.
Hey, you moved the seats a little forward, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
Why is that?
To get some depth.
It looks good.
So yeah, guys, really, really excited, and I mean, I want to share something with you. Like, a lot of people see me, and you guys compare, or maybe you see other because you know that there's nobody like us.
I know.
Like, there's nobody like us.
I know.
There is no mortgage owner, mortgage company, mortgage couple, real estate company owner
Like me.
that is like us. Like, good looking, Latinos, young, with kids.
Hardworking.
And like everything, hard workers, ethical people, great attitudes, no matter what, you show up. And in our 30s, like, it's unheard of. Syl was telling me, like,
Get ready to go.
what?
Get ready to go.
Why?
Because you can't talk with gummy.
So Syl was telling me that one tip for the men out there: never let your girl control you. If she tells you to do something, you tell her no. It's my way.
Okay, so keep speaking with the people.
So one thing that Syl was telling me is, she was telling me, hey, I can't like, we fly private and all these things that we do, like. And she was like complaining about, like, why do you spend so much money on certain things? However,
Albert complaining?
One thing that you do is, like, why do you work so hard? I was thinking about it. I was watching a video, because I like to watch motivational videos every now and then.
Right.
And I was watching a video, I think it was yesterday when I was taking a shower, and they're talking about you want to go all in young. You want to put everything on the line young. You want to take big risks young, because when you get old, you can't. And it's like, I always say this, like, I want to have the best sex young, when I can still get it up, when I can still get really hard and go with power. I don't want to, like, wait till I'm old and what's the whole point of being 60 and having maybe the wealth that you want, and finally a jet, and then you have to land the jet because you can't breathe because your pressure is high.
Right.
So, like, I want to do everything young. So to me, it is really fun to do this. And the thing that has helped me the most is, you gotta stay super busy, super busy. And as long as you stay super busy, listen to this. This is gonna be a good reel, Anthony. So, and I'm gonna do it with my gum for Syl. So this is gonna be very powerful. So listen up. I've never heard anybody not achieve their dreams, whether it's being a billionaire, having their own private jet, or living in a mansion in Bel Air. I never heard anybody fail that worked super hard, that had a great attitude, that was super ethical, and that gave it their all, that was up. I was doing a live yesterday. I was falling asleep doing the live. Like, I was like falling asleep, and I was still closing people. Bam, 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 bam. I never heard somebody like that goes super hard and is ethical and never stops, never quits, never gives up, and just continues to push day in, day out, 365 days a year, that fails on their dreams. Never. Usually when people don't accomplish their dreams, it's because they think small and they're like, oh, maybe I should save and not take risks. Maybe I should be a little wimp and not go after my dreams. So if you work really hard, you stay super busy, you have a calendar full, no empty space. Ever since I wake up every single day, Monday through Sunday, I don't have empty space in the calendar. Like I think sometimes like, okay, Sunday I'm gonna use it to catch up. I always have thing after thing after thing after thing. And when I skip the gym, that you say, oh, well, instead of drinking all those blue cod bottles in the house and you're wasting so much time, you should work on systems. Like when I'm there, I am working on things. I am making money. I'm building things. I'm working on blue ocean strategies. So like I'm not stopping. I barely, and even on those days that I skip the gym and I just have mimosas on an empty stomach, I still barely have a few hours of quality time to spend with you and the girls because I'm always focused on, I got to make this post. I got to reach out to this people. You know, on Saturdays or on Sundays, whenever I take that day off from the gym, I'm talking to people. And these are powerful people. I get on the phone with, and I spend like maybe a couple of hours talking to powerful people that some are billionaires, some are 100 millionaires, and some are just very huge, big celebrities that I'm doing some business with. Yeah. So I don't waste a second. Every minute is like bam, 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 bam. So if you stay super busy, and of course, on money-making activities, if you're busy, if you're going to lunches with people that are not going to give you value or help you make more money, or you're going to help them make more money because you also have to give before you receive, then you're never going to grow. Before this, I was doing one thing, all the way before I jumped into this. We jump into another thing, we jump into another thing. Then later we have another thing. Then tomorrow we have a lot. Then the Sunday we have a lot. Then Monday, then we have another baby. So you might be asking, okay, Albert, so you have 4 businesses, 4 multi-million-dollar companies right now, and you have all these expenses, like, woo, right? And you're thinking like, shit. And now you're having another baby. What are you gonna do, Albert? It's so much things going on. Like, and you're in the middle of a recession. How fun is that, right? So I love it. Like, it's so exciting. It's life has never been this easier. Life has never been this easier, this fun. Like, why do you want to live if you want to have an ordinary, boring, cheap little punk life? You want to have a big life. You want to be busy. You want to have studios, driven couples. Then you want to jump to another thing. So you want to have a life that's full of surprises, that's full of challenges, that's full of recessions. Recessions are one of the best times in your life. They allow you to grow and recreate yourself in a different way. When you become a bigger beast, when all these people that thought they were beasts, they're now like little beans, and you evolve. You become a better version of yourself, and this is not for everybody. And what I was saying when I started this, there's no couple like us, no couple like us that's running these companies, that is having another baby, that looks this good, still works out. Like, I'm still wearing my leather jacket. You know, this leather jacket's expensive. Have my nice little watch, have my nice little car down there. We're still here in our nice little office. So we are not backing down from anything. We are thriving right now. We just had our biggest week, our biggest month for Conquer Escrow, our newest company. Like, biggest ever, biggest ever. My wife just, like, she learned finally. And she adapted and she evolved into a different lady. Like I told her, start bringing your eyelash girl to the office right now. Guess what? She had her eyelash girl right there, and she did the job, and she saved the drive. She saved so much time, which is more important than money. And like, life is better than ever. I don't know. Like, my wife is even becoming like better, like so cool. So really proud of her for that. I really give you like I almost had a moment. So. That was very exciting. Now, Ambiance Realty just had the biggest week last week also. Ambiance Realty is doing so good. So everything is like blowing up. And the thing is that the best thing about the recession is that it eliminates all the people that thought they were like players, but they were not players. They were pretenders. So now we're finding out all the pretenders, you know, they're off, they're gone, they're washed away. So now it opens the field for the real players. So it's really exciting, guys. I'm super pumped up, as you can see, and there's a lot of big things coming from us that you're gonna hear about. So having said that, Syl, how do you feel being like 4 days out from delivering Cali Preciado? Cali, so Cali, Italia, and Berlin. So now we have 3 kids.
I know, we're about to have 3 kids. I can't believe it.
Now I'll throw my gun for you.
I feel ready, for one. I'm not used to being slowed down by anything, and it's been a little bit challenging with this baby in this little belly, but I'm excited. I'm excited to just get her out and integrate her into our life, because I was telling him our life is really, really, really busy, very, very hectic. Our calendars are back to back to back to back to back. There's always something we're working on, something we're doing, events we're planning. It's insane. Basically, our calendar starts to fill up the previous year. So it's a lot, and we have a lot of help. Fortunately, we've been able to position ourselves where our kids are good, everything is good. It's just a lot of work, and for those of you that have kids and, you're entrepreneurs and you're growing maybe a company or starting a business, it's definitely, there's those guilty moments when you're like, man, like my kids, I haven't been home all day. Now it's 9 p.m. I'm still in the office, and it's not always the best feeling.
So talk about that. How does that make you feel? Because
I mean, it's a little bit sad sometimes.
Because you spend more time with kids.
A little bit more.
Like sometimes, like on Saturdays and Sundays, I don't see them, and then that's why last time I told you, like, communicate and let me know that you're gonna go have the dinner so that maybe I can move a few things and be at the dinner.
You could have moved a few things on your drive home with me. And
It's too last minute though. Big performers like me, we have schedules that we have to be very, very
Right.
aware of it.
Right, and regardless, you were going to be on your live. So whether
I could have done it after.
While I'm cooking you dinner in the kitchen, you're not with us anyway. So
Yeah, but when
whether
you
I'm
finish,
in the
but I make
house-
sure that the kids stay awake.
So while I'm in the house or I'm out at a restaurant,
Mhm.
it's the same.
No, because I
difference.
make sure the girls stay awake. And when you brought him, they were both sleeping.
And then
And I can't control because I'm not there. But when they're in the house, I make sure they don't fall asleep. So they wait for me.
It's a whole operation, even our home life. But so
But I was asking you, how do you feel not being there as much as you could be or you want to be? Or let me ask you this: Do you feel like you're not around your kids that often, or do you feel like you are with them enough? Because you always tell me, my girls are so smart, and we do
So
spend
smart.
we do spend you spend a lot more time with them on the weekends, and so do I. And then we spend time with them in the evening. Sometimes we bring them to our workplace also. So how do you feel about that? Like, because you also can't be with your kids all the time.
They don't want to be with
and
you.
be a brokey.
Yeah, they don't want to be with you all the time, And for us, I mean, Italia could literally say, Mom, I want a party bus with this princess, that princess. These are all the friends I want to take to a Disneyland private tour. And we can do that for her, which is not exactly, it costs a lot of money. Too much for Disneyland, in my personal opinion, because I hate Disneyland. But I'll do that for my kids, and it makes them happy. And, for example, she knows, that she can basically have anything that she wants. For us, it's carving out that time where it feels good and bad at the same time, because I know that we're showing them, what hardworking parents are. But it does feel bad sometimes. But now, lately, because I've been obviously super pregnant and about to deliver, hopefully on Valentine's Day. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep her in here that much longer. But, I do feel guilty sometimes. But lately, like, I'll just shower at home, so I won't come out here and work out anymore. I'll just shower at home. I've been spending, a lot of time with the girls, because in the mornings, and what I mean by a lot is leaving my house at 9, the latest 10. Every day is different. But sometimes I have to be here super early. It just depends. And we're always here pretty late. So, I'm spending this quality time with them. I'm preparing them, for the baby. And, for example, this morning, Italia and I had a conversation. And I told her I'll consider it. And she said, Mommy, what does considerate mean? So I explained it to her. And she's like, oh, okay, got it. And then I said, I stubbed my toe. And I said, Mother. And she was like, Mom. And I was like, what? She's like, you can't say bad words. She's like, you also have to be a good example to my little sister that's coming. And she's right. And I told her, oh, I'm sorry, baby. I said, it just slipped because that really hurt. And she's really, really smart. And when I do have that quality time with them, I'm not on my phone like he is all the time. So I make sure that they have concentrated time. And for example, I don't know if you remember what Ed Milet told us. Do you remember what he said?
Yeah.
His one regret?
Yeah.
Or one thing that he wishes he could go back and change, if you guys know who Ed Milet is. He said he wishes that he would have been more present with his children. So they're not that old, his kids. They're not that grown. I think one's like 21 and I don't remember. But anyway. point being that he said being more present, because your kids don't necessarily need you all day. They're doing their own thing. You know, yesterday I got home, they painted, they did all these activities. They're happy. Hi. You know, they're doing their thing, and they're happy. So I don't have to worry about, you know, the care that they have is exceptional. So, you know, when Ed Milet said that, I thought about it. I'm like, man, yeah. So I put my phone away when I'm with them, or Berlin will steal it sometimes and forward all my calls. But you guys get the point. So I'm very much present with them when I am with them. And I think that that's very important, because physically being there doesn't mean you're actually present with your kids. And really, believe me, your kids don't want to be with you all day. They don't. You know, what does Italia always say? I want to go to Target. I'm like, okay, on Sunday we get to go to Target. If Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you know, hit your milestones. She is a good girl, didn't fight too much with her sister, things like that, because kids fight. But sometimes I tell her, you have to, you know, do this, this, and this. And she knows, feeding her turtle and things like that. So, again, it's just being able to provide for your kids. And Sundays is a day that we try very, very hard, unless we have like a major event or something crazy, where then I just grab the kids, bring the nannies, and it is a lot of work. But Sundays is normally my day with them. Lately, Saturdays too, except when we're here.
Well, one thing that I'll add to that is that you're gonna like this, Anthony. So don't miss out. So I learned a lot, and I was telling Syl earlier today that I'm a different beast now, and this is not the first time that I'm going through something like this, where it's a recession, and it's you got to pivot. So you always got to pivot. And I remember just one of my key study sessions that I do on my own is I just look back at pictures, moments, maybe Instagram posts from a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, and I check. Why is it so loud?
I raised the volume.
And I check, like, where was I in? You want to put it down a little bit? And I check where was I. So let me just rephrase back a little bit so that it sounds perfectly, correctly crispy. So one thing that I do, that it's a session that I do on my own, is I go back in time and I study, and I look at pictures and social media posts from a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I see where I was at. And I remember, like, you guys can see clearly, like, I look younger, better, I'm smarter, wiser. A lot of things have improved, and you can see it. Like, just compare our current office to our old office, to our first office. Compare our cars today to the cars before. Compare where we live now to where we used to live. Compare the way we fly, the way we used to fly. So the thing is that every year, it's been a stretch. Every year, it's been a new challenge. Every year, it's been a new pivot. It's been new changes. But you have to adapt. And if you're not adapting and growing and pivoting, like, if you can't take on little challenges and obstacles, then you're not going to grow. Every year, it's normal. It's normal. Back 5 years ago, I remember I had a few employees. I had a few salespeople. And I remember that we were struggling to pay our office, and to pay certain expenses, and to pay certain employees, and to cut payroll, and it was a stretch. But look at back then, 5 years, and look at now. It's like day and night. And hey, have we had to pivot? Yes. Have we had challenges? Yes. Do we have baby problems like before? No. Now our problems are not baby problems anymore. They're like big daddy problems. But you become a bigger big daddy. You know, like and people can evolve. People can recreate themselves and grow every year. Every day you're supposed to grow 1% at least. You get better, you get better.
1% is a lot.
And challenges make you better. When you have challenging, death-threatening moments, it makes you better, or it makes you a quitter. So like every year, like we're just growing. I guarantee you that in 5 years, we're going to be billionaires, and we're still going to be like, oh my God, why did we get into this? Oh my God, Albert, you shouldn't have gotten this $65 million jet. A $30 million jet would have been sufficient, Albert. Why did you pay those extra $30 million? Albert, stop buying so many $80 million properties. We don't need another house in Hawaii. We don't need another house in Paris. Guys, if you made it this far, I have an exclusive mastermind that I want you to join. Go to drivenacademy.com and subscribe to my exclusive mastermind where we're gonna meet in person every month at my workshop, and you get more perks. All you gotta do is go to the link below and sign up. I'll see you there. So every year, no matter what, she's gonna be like, Albert, you don't need another Bugatti. You don't need another LaFerrari or Enzo.
Foundation, as you guys can tell.
So the problem is never expenses. The solution is income, revenue. Focus on revenue and forget about all the little shit. All the little shit can go to hell, but if you have revenue, you're gonna keep growing.
Right.
You're gonna keep growing because even if people leave you, if you keep growing, you keep recruiting, you're gonna replace new people. Remember, if you have a company right now and you have a lot of salespeople, I have a rule. So when somebody leaves the company, if they were here 3 years, they gave me a great 3 years. They gave the company great times. They gave the company great revenue. They were in the company 3 years, and they were great. They have 3-year runs. That was great. They were a great contribution to the company, and they also got a lot of contribution from us because we grew them in those 3 years. The first year, those people wouldn't recognize themselves if they look at year 3. So when they leave after 3 years, they wouldn't recognize themselves if they saw the first year when they joined. So they grew, they helped the company a little bit, they contributed, they made the company a little bit of money. Cool. But if salespeople, independent contractors have 3-year runs, if they make it past 3 years, they're great. They're one of the few. They're one of your running mates. They're one of those that might be with you till the exit. And what is an exit? When you sell the company and you get billions of dollars or hundreds of millions. So if an independent contractor is with you 2 years, they were good. They gave the company good revenue, good income, and you gave them back good time, good improvement. You grew them, so they should be happy that you helped them develop. And cool, okay, bye. But if they were there 1 year, then it was a waste of time. They just took from the company. They just joined the company because they wanted to get info. They wanted to get knowledge. They wanted to get your resources or try to get your resources, and then they left. So that was a bad hire. That was a bad person you brought in. 1 year is no good. But 2 years, it's good. 3 years, it was great. So keep in mind, if you have companies and you have independent contractors, they are not your employees. You don't owe them anything, and they don't owe you anything. Right. They come and go. And if they're here 3 years, that's good enough. That's great. So the problem is not, after 3 years, they're going to leave if they're just one of those people. Remember, real estate agents especially and loan officers, every 3 years, they like to jump from company to company to company because every 3 years, they're like, wait, the problem is not me. Nobody thinks that the problem is them. Everybody thinks that the problem is everything else except them. Right. So every 3 years, if you notice, just look up every loan officer, look up every realtor. Every 3 years, usually they jump from one company to the next. And then they get to 40, 50, and then they get too old, they're 60, and they're still jumping around companies and they never grow. So that's what happens. That's normal. Now, if you want to grow a company and you're starting a company, the answer is you always have to prospect. You always have to grow revenue. How do you do that? Prospecting. What is prospecting? Prospecting means getting new business, getting new agents, getting new relationships, just prospecting for new people. That is a principle in business for everything. It's not only prospecting to get new business, you got to prospect as a leader to get more recruits. You got to get more agents, because somewhere down the line, in 5 years from now, we're going to have maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people that are leaders that get that get a big payout when we sell the company. And then you're going to have a lot of these people that are probably not going to be there anymore. And there's going to be a lot of new faces. So the answer is always be recruiting, always be recruiting. People focus on, oh my God, people are leaving. Oh yeah, well, why don't you focus on the overall picture? We have more agents than ever, and because we keep recruiting new people. And that's the way you grow a business. You got to keep recruiting,
basically.
Because there is talent everywhere. Right. Just like we found Bryant for Ambiance Realty, brand new, 22-year-old, used to be a busboy 12 years ago. Now he's one of the highest earners in the company. 22-year-old, he's just getting started, and he started in the middle of a recession. And to him, this is the only new. He doesn't know anything. This is what he's used to. So imagine when the market starts getting easier and opening up, which it is already, this guy's gonna kill it. This guy's gonna double his income, maybe triple it like that. Next year, like these next 12 months, he's gonna make 3 times more income than he did the prior 12 months. So you just gotta understand business. And what I was telling Syl earlier today is, I feel really bad for everybody else because I'm a very, very dangerous individual. Like the level of experience that I have now, the level of wisdom that I have now, the level of resources that I have now, relationships that I have right now, it's never been like this. And I've been through everything. So this to me, what's going on right now with the market is not even tickling me.
Well, it's an opportunity.
I'm excited. I'm excited, and there's and now with the whole brand and the marketing, a lot of people are reaching out to me every single day. Albert, I'm ready to join. Albert, I'm ready to join. Albert, hey, let's, like, all these people now want to be part of this because they see it. There is nobody alive like us right now. Everybody is dead. So I'm really pumped up, guys. And then one thing is that when you have a kid, when you're maybe, oh man, you know what? I'm going through hard times. I should wait. Why is my kid coming right now? Hard times. Back when Natalia was born, I was going through one of the hardest times that I've been through. And the only thing Natalia did was she raised me to a new level. Yeah. But this is not for everybody, by the way. This is not for everybody. Just because, like, if you don't have, if your shit's fucked up, don't have a kid, it's not gonna be the answer. It's not gonna make you better.
No.
This is for the true people that have the balls, have the courage, have the commitment, have the right attitude, have the work ethic. You gotta have a lot of things in line. You have to be ethical, because when you're not, it always comes back and pays you back.
Yeah.
So if you have that, all of those things, you have good core values. When you have a baby, it only makes you become a better version of yourself, because you don't waste a lot of time. You don't have time anymore to go see the Super Bowl. You don't have any more time to go see the basketball games in the evenings with your bros. You don't have time to waste time with people that you shouldn't be wasting time, because you know that the limited time that you have, you want to be with your kid. And what does that do? That saves you, that keeps you clean, that keeps you ready for tomorrow, that keeps you focused. Right. So because you know I can't lose, you're not out watching the games, drinking with the buddies and all that anymore. So you are more focused. The next day you wake up fresh, and it just makes you do more. It makes you value time more. So when I had my second baby, now our third baby, I'm just really excited, because every time we have a baby, we just go on this ride on this wave of generating like 100x more revenue. So I'm very pumped up. And
how many
and
babies do you want?
10.
No, not with me.
Sheesh.
He's crazy. Maybe one more, Enzo, and that's it. But we'll get past this one first. Babies are a blessing, and they just bring so much love to your whole life. You know, at first it's a little bit of an integration. Like I told him, it's mostly for the woman, because I have to, you know, be out for like a week, hopefully maybe less than 2 weeks, and then I could be back to action.
I think a week you're good.
I think so too, but we'll see. But, you know, bringing her in and kind of throwing her all up into this whole mix is going to be interesting. But I'm excited. I'm excited to meet her and see her. And more than anything, I'm excited to have my body back, because I promised him I was going to get super hot so we can have our wedding, right?
You did?
I did? Am I going to do it this time?
I mean, if you haven't done it in your lifetime, like what's going to be different now?
Can you say yes? So I have a little encouragement?
I believe in you, but I don't believe you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I believe in you, but I don't believe you. There's a big difference right there.
No,
like you could believe in the person, but at some point you stop believing the person, because they say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and they don't do it.
I mean, I'm always in amazing
Now,
shape.
do I believe in you? Like sometimes, like I could tell this to Anthony. Hey, I believe in you, but I don't believe you. Because you've told me that a lot of times already. So it's there's a big difference. And yeah, you love you love certain people more than others, and you believe in them because you know they have that talent. You know they could do it, but you stop believing them at one point. Right. And like that's the difference between me and a lot of people. Like when I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. I commit to it.
You don't have
I'm
a
disciplined.
six-pack.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I'm 7% body fat.
Like an actual 6-pack.
I'm 7% body fat.
Let's
No.
see it.
No, he doesn't have a six pack. I see.
They
you
just
every day.
They just posted a picture of me from the last top producers, and even though I have champagne every day, I still have a six pack, 7% body fat.
So my goal is to have just a really flat stomach. I'll never have abs for sure. There's no way.
Why not?
Because I've never had them.
It doesn't matter. That's because you don't eat properly.
I just want to be super fit and hot and have a nice body.
Yeah, well, it's
Put
easy.
in the work.
I
Yeah,
am.
you gotta have
Anthony,
discipline.
I do put in the work.
If you need a shredded personal trainer, yoga instructor, I'm right here, guys. And I just moved to San Diego. I'll help you out. Just to
Thank
work
you.
with you guys and get close and learn some wisdom.
Thank you.
Yeah, 10 years in the business, 20 years. Check out Joe Nicholas Cage versus Skulls on YouTube, Albert. I'll send you the video. I think you've seen it once before.
Send it over.
All right.
Anyway, so yeah, a lot of cool things. I'm just excited. I'm excited for everything. You excited? You ready?
Yeah.
We might be in the hospital tonight. by
I
the way.
had somebody. I had a thought, but I lost it.
You lost it.
Was it about working out?
No, working out is easy.
Believing in people?
Oh yeah. I was talking about that. Oh, that like me, when I say I'm gonna do something, I think that's why everybody knows, because I remember 5 years ago, or maybe 4. I remember this certain person was with the company, and this certain person left, and this person was with us like from the beginning, and then this person, no matter, I think this person like loves me and loves me and possibly hates me at the same time. I don't know. Maybe things have changed. Maybe because people usually they
Realize
they
their
get
mistake.
jealous. They get jealous, and the thing is that sometimes they don't get jealous. This person I don't think was jealous. This person I think just some people become entitled, but people become jealous at first. Then they become envious, and then they become haters.
Right.
And envy is really bad. Jealous is, you just there's nothing wrong with, oh, I'm jealous because that girl has bigger knockers than me, or that girl has nicer legs than me, or tinier waist than me. But when you become envious, where you envy the girl, hey, that's bad. Like just work out, do more,
Right.
eat better, and you'll get there. No need to get envious. Like you could be jealous in a nice, friendly way. Oh, you know what? I wish I had a six pack or whatever. But then you become haters, and then these haters become fanatics. So that's the 4th stage. So first they become jealous, they leave you, they become envious, then they hate you, and then they become fanatics. And then later, a decade later, they're like, man, imagine if I would have stayed there. Imagine
Well,
if
they said I used to know that
yeah,
person.
that's where I was going. So after, then when you blow up and you become huge, then all of a sudden now they're saying, oh, I used to know Albert. Oh, I used to. So you don't want to become one of those I used to people. But I was going back because I remember this person 4 years ago, before the person left the company. They told me, I know, we had a conversation, us 3 of them. And by the way, if you're watching this, or if you guys are watching, or just general message, right? Like I like this person. I don't dislike this person. I wish this person the best, and I truly like this person. We had a lot of ups and downs, but I truly like this person. I mean it with my heart, and I wish this person like a great future. I don't have anything. I don't have room in my heart to hate anybody.
Right.
If we had times that we didn't ups and downs, whatever you want to call that, then you move on and you wish people the best. So, but I remember very clearly we were talking, and this person said, I know that you guys are gonna continue to grow, and I know that you guys are gonna blow up. I know that Albert can fail, and Albert, when he says he's gonna do something, he does it. So I know he's always gonna win. And that's what happens. Like, it's very important to have a great leader. And everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody wants to be a Patrick Bet-David, but there's only one Patrick Bet-David with PHP. Everybody wants to be an Ed Milet. There's only one Ed Milet with WFG. If not, there would be a lot of them.
Andy
There's only
Frisella.
one. Everybody wants to be Andy Frisella, but there's only one Andy Frisella with First Form. If they were like, there's only one, and you gotta accept who that person is, and you gotta let them. You gotta be their running mate. And you got to run with them because they kind of know what they're doing. Grant Cardone, same thing. There's only one Grant Cardone. So once you realize, hey, this is my leader, I'm gonna let my leader lead me, and I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna follow. and a lot of great things can happen. But then you don't want to be, what if I would have been part of them, and I would have helped them, they would have helped me, and everything would have been, what if. I never want to, when I get older, I never want to say, what if?
Right.
What if I would have waited till I was
I don't
old
think
to have
we
kids?
ever have.
What if I would have waited till I was old to fly private? And that's what I'm saying about, like, Hermailet, for example, Grant Cardone. These guys, like I like a lot of things about them, but I don't like everything about them.
Well, you don't have to.
I like a little bit of each, but I don't want to be successful when I'm their age. I want to be successful now. I wanted to be successful like 10 years ago, so that's why I took all those risks, because I wanted to know how it feels doing it young. I wanted to go all in young. I didn't want to wait till I was older. I didn't.
You still don't.
No, not at all.
See, but the goal is to work so hard when you're young so that you could do whatever the hell you want when you're older, because when you're older, se acaban las ganas.
You never do.
Be honest.
Yeah, but you never do.
You just keep growing,
Yeah.
because you keep growing and growing.
Bobby
and growing
Castro,
and growing.
Hermailet, they have all the money in the world.
Yeah,
They work harder than they used to when they were younger.
right.
So like all that bullshit of, oh, I'm gonna wait till I'm old and I have a lot of money in the bank, like they still work harder. That never stops. That is you. That is your DNA. That is the way you're programmed. You're never gonna stop. I'm never gonna stop. When I want to take it, we're gonna take a 6-month trip or maybe a year trip when we sell a couple of the companies in 3 to 5 years, because 3 to 5 years I'm out. 5 years is my cap. 5 years I'm out. Whatever they give me, I'm out. So when that happens, I'm gonna take my family out 6 months to a year and travel around the world, kind of like what Bobby Castro did. We're gonna travel in our own private jet, and we're gonna go around the world. We're gonna go to Paris. We're gonna go to Dubai. We're gonna go to Bora Bora. We're gonna go everywhere in the world that we want to travel with our kids. But I have a feeling that after 4 days, I might be like, fuck, I want to get
Let's
back to
go
work.
back.
Because that's just the way I am. So I
Right.
figured, I studied all these
Both of
people.
us.
And the biggest regret they have, yeah, I wish I would have put my phone down with my kids. Their biggest regret right now is probably like, fuck, I'm old. Now what? So
Yeah.
they probably wish they would have been in their 30s, like I am now, and had private and flew private, had the Ferraris, had all this stuff. Because at my age, at their in their 30s, they didn't have any of this, not even close. So I know that right now, or maybe I'm wrong, but maybe right now they're like, man, I wish at 30 I would have done this, because nothing changes when they get older. When they get older, they're still the same hungry people that want to work hard. So that doesn't change. It's not like you're gonna relax. You don't. That's just how you are, and you gotta keep doing it, because your kids, they have to see you working hard. Because if you're wealthy and then all of a sudden you stop working and now I have an easy life, I'm just gonna wake up late and I'm gonna have champagne every day and just relax in the pool and read my Harry Potter books. Your kids are gonna be like, when they grow up, their friends are gonna ask him, how was your daddy? Oh, my daddy was like very lazy, and he used to wake up at 11 in the morning, and he would make a mimosa every morning, and he would read his Harry Potter books and just relax in the pool.
Watch football.
And then he would watch football, and he would have his buddies. And my dad was kind of like a loser. I don't want my kids to remember me like that. I want my kids to remember the grind. Like, this guy was a fucking grinder. My dad was a fucking badass. That's what I want my little girls to say. I want Kelly to be born, and she's 5 months. She's saying, my dad's a fucking badass.
They don't talk at
So-
5 months. Mental.
So, okay, when she talks, I want her to say, my dad's a fucking badass. And when she grows bigger, my dad's a fucking badass. He was a fucking,
Well,
he
you
still
want your
is.
kids to be proud of you.
Yeah, so when
Yeah.
when Callie is 10, I'm going to be getting close to 50. So I'm still going to be grinding, because I don't want her to be to see a lazy dad. I don't want her to see that. When she's 20, I'm going to be heading to 60. I'm still going to be grinding, because I want my kids to see that even though they're 20, he's a grinder. Because guess what? When they're 20, they're going to be in that part where they got to get a job. They got to be working full time and grinding
Right.
too. So I have to lead by example, because kids don't do what you tell them to do. Kids do what they see your father, their mommy doing. That's what they see. That's what they do. What they see the leader doing.
Right.
So like, you can't ever stop. So for me to think, I'm gonna like just focus on being conservative, and I'm gonna enjoy my life later when I'm old. No, I'm gonna enjoy it right now throughout the way, because I know that no matter what happens and how my day goes, it feels fucking amazing to get into an SF90 because an SF90 is the Ferrari. That is not just a Ferrari. There's a lot of Ferraris. There's the California, there's a 458, there's a 488, there's the F8. There's like those cars are a bunch of Ferraris. The Ferrari, the most expensive Ferrari, the biggest bad boy Ferrari is the SF90. Look it up. It's the fastest and it's the most expensive. It's $1 million, and that is the car that I drive today. So that is the Ferrari. I've always had the best because I always go for the best and I always put everything on the line and I always let my results speak for themselves. And I think that's how every man and all the men should be like.
I think we've always done a really good job at prioritizing our work, but having a lot of fun in between. Would you agree? Obviously, before we had kids, you know, we can be at the office till 8, go have dinner, and not matter that we got home at 11, woke up early, went to the gym, and did it all over again. And I think it's that consistency that really not only built our work ethic. I don't know if you can build work ethic, but I've always had a very strong work ethic. I think he has as well. But, you know, we've always had a lot of fun while being in the grind, you know, and I feel like a lot of people now, at least this is what I see, and I could be wrong, you know, this is my personal opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, observations, experiences. We're all different. But I just feel like people make like such a big deal, like, oh, I have to go to open house. Oh, I have to go take this loan up. Oh, I have to go sign docs. Like, dude, that's the best part. When you're signing loan docs, you are about to have a big ass check in your hand and in your bank account. And like, what feels better than that when you're helping families, you're making a lot of money, and all you have to do is drive, you know? And some of these youngins, I'm like, you're like 25. You can't drive somewhere. Like, driving is easy. It doesn't matter if it's a 45-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour drive. Who cares? Like, what else do you have to do? You got to get from point A to point B so that you could accomplish your goals. When you become okay with this, rather than bitching and complaining, which is what people do all day, I'm like, just go, do it, figure it out. Like, traffic exists always. It always has existed. Is it worse? Maybe. Do you have to just take your time and plan things out better? Absolutely. And that's just part of life. Traffic is part of life. You know, when people are like, too much traffic, too much this, too much that, I'm like, look, if you're complaining about those little tiny irrelevant obstacles, you're never going to make it big in this industry, you know. And him and I got to a point where we were closing 30 files a month, you know, maybe a couple real estates, 20 loans, you know, and we just did what we had to do. And this is what builds your work ethic, your character, and how you're able to scale each and every year. Since we've met, I think every year has been better than the last, except 2013, right? That's when we had to write that letter to the DRE.
2013 was when we started our company.
But was that when everything kind of went down? Remember, we had to get the letter
That was just a year of a lot of challenges, but that was the year that we started that was our best year and our worst year.
Our best year and our worst year. But
remember when they put me in a deposition?
Right.
I've been in a few. They put me in a deposition, and I was like 10 years younger, and I was starting a company, and this was for an incident that happened in 2008 and 2007.
So 5 years later.
So 5 years later, and then what was it? Remax. So Remax was involved. So I got put into this mess, and I got put into this mess, and then I had this attorney, and it was the first time. Well, yeah, it was the first time I got, and I was part of a deposition. And they were questioning me and all this, so it was a hard year because I'm not used to that. And I'm going through that. I'm getting at the same time, that's the year where we opened the mortgage guys, where we filed the corporation and opened it. So that was going on, and there was just a lot of things going on at the same time. That was also the year that the broker's license, the deposition, and then that deposition ended. We both opened the company. And there was another thing going on. I don't even remember anymore. But that year was really tough. But and the income went down because I was so busy handling a lot of other things that were outside of my personal work, being a loan officer and opening the company. So it was the best year because we opened TMG, but it was the worst year because we went through a lot of problems and issues. But all those things allow you to grow and to become better. Hard times create the greats. and the easy times create all the weak people.
Yeah.
So remember, like every year, do I scare you every year?
A little bit, yeah.
But like now it's like less, I think.
I'm used
Now,
to it
now you believe in me a little bit more.
No, I'm just used to it, and I know it's a lot of work because I'm right there.
But with Italia, you were I remember you were way scared. Like you used to cry and used to be like, how are we gonna do this? And there were some moments.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. With your first child, I was a little nervous to give up my freedom at the time, is what I considered, and just to think to bring in a little human you're responsible for raising, instilling good values, principles into and caring for 24/7. I mean, that is scary. I was 30. You were what, 32? 34?
30?
I was 30 when I got pregnant with Italia, when we found out we were pregnant. And yeah, I cried because I was like, shit.
You were 29.
I was 30.
Because you're 36.
I was 30.
Italia's 6 already. So you
She
got pregnant.
just turned 6.
Yeah, so you got pregnant 7 years ago, not 6 years ago.
She just turned 6.
I know.
So I was 30.
So you were 35. You were
I was
29.
30.
You were 29. I was 33.
30. I'm telling you, I was 30. Okay, maybe I was 29 and then I turned 30, but I was still pregnant with her at 30. So, it's
We did it when you were
scary.
29.
Shut up. So it's scary.
Because it
is
takes time to
scary.
get pregnant, and then it takes 9 months to.
Okay, I was 29, and when I was turned 30, I remember
You were still
thinking that I
pregnant, yeah.
couldn't have a crazy party because I was pregnant. So whatever that looks like, you guys get the point. And
No, but also like 2000, what was it? 2011 or 10. No, wait, when was this? Actually, even when Italia was born, 2018, we are in the Fountain Blue.
she's
This is when I was racking up all the credit cards, and when I sold all the homes, and we're like, and this is not too long ago, and you were like scared, and you were crying, and you were like what's gonna happen, and that was a different Albert back then, and we had baby problems, and we were still battling like that, this Albert, like where we are today, it's day and night from then.
right.
So like now we're making huge moves,
Right.
and it's more exciting. But I think now I think you just believe in me a little bit more.
I do.
that I will not fail ever.
I know. I see it. He's very committed. Like he said, when he says he's gonna do something, he does it. I mean, that's just like me. Obviously, I haven't ever said I'm gonna have rock solid abs, but I'm always in good shape. For the record, it's not that I don't. I used to work out every single day, and I'll go back to that right after this baby. But the whole point is that, guys, you just keep getting better, and you have to have fun because beauty is in the journey. It really, really, really is. And like for us, as far as I'm concerned, before we had so many loan originators and realtors in the company, we were so happy dealing with our clients, and now it's like we get happiness from helping people that really want and appreciate help, because sometimes people just need a little love. They need a little redirection. Kind of like Alexis. Like, doesn't it make you so happy that you have one little conversation with him and then he's on fire again? Like, it's amazing, and the one thing
Why
that
do
he
you
told
think?
him,
Why do you think that happens though?
because we're all human, and sometimes.
But why
it's-
does my conversations with people help them like blow up, and why can't everybody just have conversations with them? What do I have?
It doesn't help all of them though, because we've had a lot where people have no hope. It's like you
Yeah,
can't fix
but
them
why?
even if you
My
try.
question is, why does my conversation impact people like that way differently than any other beanhead having a conversation with them?
So it just depends on the person, and
No, I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about like why does my conversation with
because
them
you've been through a lot. I don't
impact
know.
them a lot differently?
It depends, Albert.
Because there's a lot of people out there that are kind
And
of
there's also a lot of people
selling
that
the
you've had
dream,
conversations and nothing happened.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people selling the dream, selling come to my company, it's better, I'm going to be your mentor, and these people can't get people to like they can't impact lives like I do.
Well, because you have to lead by example. So you're not going to listen to
I mean, I
someone
think
that's
you have
not
to have a
doing good.
track record. I think that
That
you have
as
to have a
well.
track record, and you have to really you have to have a track record of success, and you have to know how to you got to be a mentor, a good mentor, but you can't be that if you don't have a track record. So I don't know why people don't realize that when they see like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go here, this person's gonna help me, I'm gonna go to this little company, this person's gonna be my mentor. Have you ever wondered or thought, wait, how is this person's track record? if this person is not living the dream life that I want, if this person hasn't accomplished anything, like why am I going to let this person lead me? Why am I going to listen to this person? I always say, watch the source of your advice, because you got to listen to people that have a track record of winning,
People you want to be
a
like.
culture of winners. And if you listen to that, you got to do the work. And it takes repetition, consistency. And if you do that and you listen to somebody with a track record, you're going to get results. But if you're listening to a bunch of different people that have no track record, you're just going to get confused, and you're not going to do anything. So this is one of the key principles. You got to listen. You got to listen to one person. So you got to listen to one person, or two people max, and those are going to be your mentors. The one or two mentors, that's all you need. A lot of people have like 6, 7, 8, 9 mentors. They go from seminar to seminar to seminar. Every year they are the same. They're not growing. They're just, they have 10 years. They have 1 year of experience repeated 10 times. So they have 10 years repeating the same thing. You want to have 10 years of growth. That's 10 years of experience, 10 years of growth. Every year you get better and better and better and better and better. So I think that's why, like, sometimes when I tell people and they really like listen and go execute, and I think the biggest difference is because they trust their mentor. They're like, wait, if Albert is telling me this, I know that I have to just put my head down, look down, and just attack and do what Albert told me. And as long as I do it, I'm going to get the results, because they know that I have the track record and they believe in their mentor. It's very important for them to believe in their mentor. If not, they're not going to get the results.
Right. I agree. And it takes a lot to be a winner, if that's what you were asking. You have to be very consistent, very disciplined. And you can't give in when, your feelings are not all great in the morning. You just have to stick to the plan and the things you said you were going to do, right? Whether it's for your business, it's for your health, it's for your family, you got to stick with the plan, and you got to trust the process, because trusting the process, believing that it's going to work and that you're going to go all in with whatever you decided, be very secure in your decisions, and that comes with confidence of little tiny wins along the way. And when you have little tiny wins, it creates that confidence that you need to keep going every day. When things might not look so beautiful or promising, right? You trust the process and that everything is going to work out. And then the journey, it's just beautiful, and being better every day, I think, is super important, because self-improvement is very, very, very important. And you have to go execute, because learning, taking it in is one thing. Going to go execute is a completely different conversation and process. So a lot of people do, we know a couple, they watch podcasts all day, and I'm just like, oh my God, you're not doing anything with your life. Like, and it's good to have the knowledge, but what good is it if it's not being implemented or executed? Think about that, and you just stop there and you stay there forever, and then your life isn't getting better. And that's something that definitely has to change, because you go for those little tiny wins all the time. That's probably our biggest secret.
Yeah, and Joe, you had a question, Joe? I know it says right there on the view.
I think Syl just answered
If you want to ask it, what is it makes you
I
a
think
winner?
I answered
Okay.
it too.
So you got it. So one thing that I want to say,
You never give up either.
you
ever.
learn from everybody. You learn from everybody, and I learned something from Andrew Tate. You know what it is?
What?
They asked him, "Do you read a lot of books? Do you listen to a lot of podcasts?" And guess what his answer was?
No.
None. He doesn't listen to podcasts. He doesn't read books, and he used to, and he did a little bit. But he said, and I relate to this a lot, because that's something that I started doing. Like I don't do a lot of that. Now I'm more focused on actually executing.
Right.
So when that happens, is because when you're just listening to all these podcasts, listening to all these audiobooks, reading all these books, you gotta stop. You gotta stop over learning, and you got to go do the work and execute. So what I started doing is, because I used to do some self-improvement in the mornings. I stopped. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Like, what else am I going to learn? I got to stop learning and getting ideas. I already know what I have to do. It's time for me to execute. So now when I wake up, I attack. So it changed. It changed from a different Albert. Now this Albert, he wakes up, and I'm on attack mode. Okay, I wake up. I drink water. I just kind of get my day going for like good 20 minutes or so. And then I get on my phone and I attack. Boom. And I start attacking. What am I going to put out? What am I going to do? What's my message for today? My output. Let me get on this live. And I'm attacking. And before I used to spend time like reading and studying. I'm like, there's no time to study or read. I know what I have to do. I've been through a lot of seminars. I've read through a lot of books. I got to attack. Let's attack. So one of the biggest tips right now for this year, and if you have kids, if you have a lot of things going on, you have a busy life, you have family, then what I recommend you to do is, if you're in a level right now where you have made some money and you're doing good and you've learned enough, attack. Focus on attacking. Go out there and attack. Prospect. If you're prospecting 5 hours and doing 2 hours of self-improvement, maybe put down the 2 hours of self-improvement, and instead of doing 5 hours of prospecting, go prospect 7 hours.
Right.
Because the 7 hours of prospecting are going to get you more money. And remember, once you get to a certain level, all you got to do is just tweak a few things.
Yeah.
Tweak a few things, and then learn from those little tweaks. And like I said, very important, a little less learning right now, a little less learning and a little bit more output. Go out there and execute. Increase your activity and go there and output. And that's why I said 1 or 2 mentors, that's all you need, and then go out, focus on executing. So having said that, Syl, you want to wrap up with something, or are we good?
No, I think we talked a lot. We didn't ask for questions today, which is fine, but
No, we did
I'm
have
good.
a question.
Yeah. You have to jump into something else right now, Albert.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I communicated with them already. So yeah, guys, so Joe, he said, how do you know the right one to listen to? Say Ed, Brad, and Grant, you have a sales-only seminar. Who do you choose? I think every stage in life is different. So right now where I'm at, I really wanted to improve my leadership skills. So what I did is I invested a lot of money in John Maxwell, because what I do is I want to learn from the best. So that's what I think is the best thing about me, Syl, is that I've paid over $2 million, maybe more, maybe
More
like $3,
now.
$4, $5 million. Yeah, maybe over $5 million actually, now that I take everything into account. But this is a good reel, Anthony. So like all these $5 million that I paid in self-improvement, I paid it to get a one-on-one time, because the best way of learning is one-on-one. So when I was growing, my first mentor that I probably paid over $250,000 to, Grant Cardone. Grant, I wanted to learn his energy more than anything, his energy, his
Action.
demeanor, his action. He's not sales or real estate. He's an action guy, activity, output, like bam, bam, bam. So that's why I kind of have that, I learned that from him, how to be aggressive and stay attacking and punch people in the face that get in your way.
Going
and
from thing to thing to thing.
Yeah, so I wanted that. Then I said, okay, well, now that I have all that and sales are good, now I need operations for business. And then what do I do? Patrick Bet-David. I go there and boom, pay Patrick Bet-David a lot of money for one-on-one time with Patrick. So I spend one-on-one time with Grant, then one-on-one time with Patrick, and then that helps us grow our company. And then what do I do? Okay, well, now I need marketing help. Ty Lopez, bam, paid him a lot of money for that, for the one-on-one time, went to his house, spent a lot of time with him, marketing. So then I got to a stage where, okay, now that we did $30 million in revenue, now I need to become a better leader, especially with this recession coming along.
Right.
And I said, well, John Maxwell, his plane broke down. I'm like, all good. Besides paying you your fee, I'm going to fly you private and fly you back private. So I got you. I got your private flight, and I got your fee. Cool. And then I learned the leadership things. So this is what people don't understand. They're like, Albert, well, I don't know. Are you sure about what you're saying? I don't know if I could really trust you. Well, think about all the mentors that I've had. I'm not just saying things out of my ear or ass. I'm saying things that I learned from the best experts in those fields. So listen to me, because I paid all these people money. So you get all of these people in one. You get John Maxwell, Patrick Bet-David, even Bobby Castro, Tim Grover. Like, I've hired the best of the best in different things, mindset, everything. And you get all of them in one, and then you get that from me. So like, what I say works, but you got to put in the work. There is no secret, or it's no funny, or the reason why we are here where we are today and still fucking growing is because of all the work that we've put out. Execution.
Right.
So when you see us execute, That's what you got to do. It doesn't matter if you learn from us, listen to us, hire Ty Lopez, hire Patrick Bet-David. If you don't go out there and execute, you still
Right.
got to execute. No matter what you listen to John Maxwell or what he tells you one-on-one behind closed doors, if you don't execute, it's not going to work. So stop listening to podcasts all day and get to work.
Right. What are some ways you hold yourself accountable? Billy's asking. Just to close out.
You want to answer that?
How do you hold yourself accountable? You just
I
do
have-
what
I-
you say you're gonna do.
Yeah, you have commitment. The first step to success is commitment. So if you don't have commitment, you're not gonna get anything in life. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna make a lot of money. Commitment is first. So when you don't say I'm gonna do things, you commit to things. I commit to give my wife the best life. I commit to give Cali, Italia, and Berlin the best life. I commit. I don't say I'm going to do things. I commit. I have commitments today. I have commitments tomorrow. I have commitments for my life. So when you have commitments, they're non-negotiable. You go and commit to them, and you make sure you do them, because when you commit, that's your life. You're putting your life.
Your word.
And that's
We know people that like RSVP to something and then they can't show up because of some bullshit. You know, and it's like, if you can't even do that, you cannot keep a proper calendar. Please tell me how you're planning to build financial stability and wealth. Like, really, how? You know, I tell people this all the time. I'm like, how can you not run a calendar properly? Whether it's you yourself or you already have an assistant, like, it's really not rocket science. And all you have to do is say, I'm going to be there, and then you just get there. Or you let an excuse get in the way, or your feelings, or some other bullshit. Like, it's stupid. Where there is a will, there is a way. And I always tell Albert this. People end up where they want to be, period. End of the story. I don't care what anybody says. That's a fact.
Thank you,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
Thank
Bye.
you. We'll see you guys next time with no tummy.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. I'm going to have no tummy. Photos really quick. Hold on.